Gang, mate, and welcome back to Capital Industry with me, Jitty. In our last episode, we got copper smelting up and running. We got our rubber production up and running. We also got the captain's office up and running, and we started working on started planning out at least our terraforming projects. Today's episode is going to be a little bit different as I need to, scale up production. An awful lot of production. But before we get into that, of course, I need to ask, can I borrow a like? Just like to borrow a like as the fog rolls over the island. Just want to borrow the like early in the video. If you're not happy, you didn't enjoy the video, by all means, you can have the like back. So the first thing I have to do, as always, I have to name a wonderful truck after a wonderful YouTube member, because you guys are the ones that are making sure the channel stays alive, the dream stays alive. And Mr. Charles decided to drive underneath the water harvester rather than driving around like a good truck. But okay, Charles, it's fine. You can drive underneath. We'll allow it this time. All right. Today's episode, like I said, I need to start scaling production. We have, very, very basic brick production. We have a little bit of copper smelting. It's more than enough for what we need for right now. We also have not nearly enough iron, and that's going to be a problem going forth. We just don't have enough iron coming in, and you've wandered off. You've gone to get fuel. Okay, you've gone to get fuel. We'll start with fuel production then. First thing I want to do then is I want to pop over here and I want to put in a brand new building, being the fuel station. The fuel station is a very, very important building for increasing the overall optimization, I guess, of your miners. We're going to put you here. Cool. And I immediately put it off by top. And run that into there. We're going to unpause both those and get them built. The fuel station allows you to assign a dedicated truck. And all his job is going to be doing is driving over here, filling up his tanker on the back full of diesel, and then driving out to the excavators and dropping off that diesel. So that's the very first thing we need to do. We need to have it built, and then we can assign a truck. Also, at the same time, we need to talk about construction parts too. Well, we did those in the last episode. That let us get belts up and running. We also have a couple of extra edicts. So the edicts that we just got available via research was eviction. We can now forcibly kick people out. Very, very important. We can also pause natural population growth. Now that we have rubber, obviously we use the ability of rubber to stop them naturally breeding. Yes. Also food saver. No, plenty of food. We've got all those. We also got access to the farming boost, which is increase the farm yield by 10%, but also the water demands by 10%. Technically, as we're running on rainwater, that might work for us. Maybe. I don't know. But we're also out of research. So let's jump in the research tree. And there's nothing I really want, but we might as well research them anyway. So we're going to grab tree planting because, I need to start planting the enemy. We're also going to get the groundwater pump along with settlement water along with housing. We're also going to grab transport balancing. We're probably going to end up using the pipe balancer eventually, but the other ones we're not going to be using anytime soon. We're also going to grab concrete production with the retaining walls, and finally we'll grab the research lab 2. Now by the time I get research lab 2 up and running, I want to actually have proper automation. I want to actually be using belts rather than trucks to move things around, which is going to be the whole point of today's episode. We're going to be doing a lot of automation. Also need to keep an eye on population and make sure that we turn off the beacon before we get flooded with too many refugees. All right, you are done. Great. Can I assign one truckie in there? And your job is to be full up with diesel. Excellent. And then you're going to drop diesel off to perfect timing. Drop diesel off to excavators as they run out of fuel. As we can see, he's got one fuel left in the tank. Rather than him driving over to get diesel, well, he just has it delivered. Just increases productivity an awful lot. All right, next thing I want to do is I want to unpause this. This is another assembler making construction parts with with an ability to store construction parts, with an ability to store even more construction parts, because I need to do a whole lot of production. I also need to pause this belt and hit the delete button, because we were talking about that last episode and it never got fully cleared. Can I get you guys to get the mechanical parts off the belt so we can start? That's not the mechanical parts, but okay. And I also want a storage on there for construction parts too, because we're going to burn a whole lot of parts. Come on. Can I unpause you? We're going to burn a whole lot of construction parts getting automation up and running, because there are going to be a lot of things we need to get built all at once. I need the belt cleared, because you're making electronics, which we want to feed into the next building. But anybody? Anybody? There we go. Unpause the belt. Okay, you're now going to have electronics auto-fed in, which means we're going to stop that automation. And you should now make construction parks, and we should have at least some of them stored up for future. Okay, so with that done, the first thing I need to do is actually need to up our brick production. Our brick production works. We have enough bricks, sort of. We're making 12. And I need, go back to one of these. I need, 6 bricks to make 6 construction parts. If I make 24 bricks, I can make 24 construction parts. So that's going to be the first thing we're going to work on. And that is, I want one of those, plus I want a second one of those. We have planning mode on, so nothing actually gets built. And we're going to deal with the easy ones first. So we need a smokestack in here and in here. Plus I need a storage right there with a very short belt with another very short belt. Sure, let's go that way instead. All right, around the back, I need to get in water, which will be the easy part. Also need to get in brick and dirt. So dirt-wise, we're going to put a storage here. Hello, belt, thank you, and belt, thank you. All right, then I need another storage on the other side to, well, get in the coal. Now, that's going to be a little bit more difficult on the fact that, well, it's going to be very cramped. Very, very, very cramped. Cool, that should work. Can I get a storage and put it here, I think? I don't think I can shorten that by a tile. Can I shorten that by a tile? Delete that. Cool, that's about as small as I can make it. We're going to delete that. We're going to set you for coal as well. We're going to have 1 bar on there. And you're going to be dirt. At least 2 dirts. Okay. Water would be up to height 3, over to, well, yep, straight in there like that, and also straight in there like that. Okay, that would be our production, our very, very simple production. Okay, now I've got that planned out. I need to remove the old and put in the new. So I would like to, I'd like to cut this, and I'd like to move it out of our way, and then copy it, and sort of see where I can line up with the old build. Now, if I put you here, it would overlap everything. Okay, and if I put you here, I'd have room to put in 1 more storage for dirt, which I have no objection to doing because we use an awful lot of dirt to run our brick production. And we're going to do exactly that. We're going to place that there. Now, it's going to be a garbage. It's going to be a little bit of everything all in the wrong spot. But when I remove the old, we can then copy this again and paste it over the top. And it should just fill in all the gaps. And, you know, it should work. So that's going to be the first thing I want to get built, which is going to need, well, bricks and construction parts and all the other stuff. Also construction parts too for all the belts. It's going to take a minute to go get up and running. But that should give us twice the amount of bricks coming in. Also, we are capped on population, so I can turn that off. So we've got refugees, which have some loot. Refugees that have some loot. More refugees that have some loot. We also unlock the ability to make vegetables. We're not dealing with vegetables right at the moment. I also noticed that our potatoes are going down. We're down to 35 months. So I'm going to grab another farm, and we're going to put this as far out of the way as possible, probably. Like, I really don't have any room. Yeah, we're going to put you there. We're going to unpause you. And do we have the green manure rotation? I need to see 1.6 months. I don't know if it needs to rain for the water, for the ground to be wet enough to actually plant the crop rotation, because it might be slowing down the rate at which the farm processes. Because we don't have irrigated farms, we just have boring farms. Yes, we might have an issue with having to wait for the rain all the time. All right, this is done. Great. With that done, we're going to remove you. Plus, we're going to remove you. And once these have been ripped up, which means we should move the bricks from here to here. Can I turn import on? That way the trucks can move the bricks across. We should be able to copy the rear end of this and put it on here, and then just add in all the storages. I need to have allowed to deliver cargo. Yes. So we're just going to copy. Actually, we're going to plug our pipe in, because that's going to be important. That can get built at least. And then as soon as this is gone, which which is now gone. We should be able to copy that and line it up and place it right there. Cool, that should work. And if I put another one in there, we now have plenty of storage, lots of storage for lots of dirt. I want to have you do at least request 1 dirt. I also want to make sure, we're just going to quick deliver you so you're running, and we're going to have trucks are allowed to deliver cargo here. And no, we don't really want trucks to take away cargo from there. Okay, so that's our brickworks upgraded, which means I don't need this anymore. Okay, step number 1 done. Step number 2 is probably start working on exactly how we're going to start building things. All right, so I need to build some iron smelting. Now, we're going to start over here, and I have published a couple of videos on exactly how to make upgradable smelters, and we're going to use that as a guideline. It's just going to be a guideline for now. It's not going to be exactly how we're going to do things because, well, I'm pretty sure that we're going to end up ripping up everything before we upgrade these to tier 2 smelters. Maybe we'll get to tier 2 smelters. I don't know. But we're going to sort of plan. We're definitely not going to get to tier 3 smelters. That's for sure. All right, so we're going to put one of these there. I'm going to press the F button to flip it to the opposite direction. I'm going to put you there. Okay, we're going to handle the easy things, being the smokestacks. Throw both those in there. We also need to get the molten casters, and we're going to flip these with the F button. Make sure we have a 2-tile gap and put this here and here. So I'm using the grid lines as a sort of a indication of where I need to build things. So I've made sure this is 1 tile, the blast furnace is 1 tile up from this dark black line, also 1 tile in. And if you're curious, I will link up in the top right hand corner exactly how, well, I'll link the video for the upgraded smelter designs to start with. Recommend you give them a watch if you're curious. I don't guarantee they'll still work for late game because some things have changed, but you know, they're at least a good indication. And worst comes to worst, you can probably just rearrange things if you have to, or you can wait for me to finally publish an updated video with full blueprints. Okay, with that done, we're going to also put a storage in here. We're going to plug a belt from there and a belt from there. That'll at least get 1 smelter up and running. Okay, now, of course, I want to actually have belts for the other end to bring in the raw resources. So we're going to go with 1 belt. I'm going to press R. R turns off the magnet. If I turn off the magnet, it won't try and attach to another belt. And we're going to run our second belt at height number 1. And then I'm going to run my next belt at height number 3. Yes. Okay, we're going to go back to U-shaped belts. I'm going to turn back on my magnet because I actually want to connect to a belt this time. I'm going to run in our first 2. We're then going to run in our second 2, which is going to be our coal production. And then I need to get out slag. Slag, we're going to come from here. We're going to stop right beside. I'm going to come to here. I'm going to go up to height number 3. And then I'm going to zigzag. Whoa. That's not what I want. Thanks, game. All right. Here to here. Then to here. Nope. Then to here at height 3. Thank you. Then in 1 and then onto the top belt this time. Perfect. All right. We're going to come from here to here. Then all the way to over here. Up to height number 3. In 1 and hook into there. All right. The reason we do that is this now becomes very, very blueprintable. And I can blueprint these over and over and over with extra smelters, which is going to be the very first I'm going to do. So we're going to copy everything from the front. I'm going to press the F button and then attach it there. And that's going to add in my 2 casters along with my smokestack and the belts and all that sort of stuff. And that gives us our very first smelter design. But my smelter design is going to be absolutely useless to me unless I actually work out what we're going to be doing with all these resources. So I need to come over here. We're going to need a couple of assemblers. We're going to need a lot of assemblers to get a lot of things done. General machines. We want an assembler or electric. Okay. My first line, because we're working with copper, is going to be for electronics. No, not an electric assembler. We want a manual assembler. We'll get into the electronic ones in a little bit. All right, we're going to want to make electronics. Now, electronics is going to require us to bring in copper and rubber. So we're going to bring in copper. Let's start with the belt. Copper is going to come in this direction. We're going to bring in rubber 1 tile above, like so. We're going to make sure that our rubber gets down to ground level and our copper also gets to ground level. Then I'm going to attach the building to the belts. That way I can make sure that everything is lined up. Because everything's in pause mode, I can just plan away and we should be fine for, you know, the truck's not going to come build anything at least. So I should be able to plan away and decide exactly what I want. And then eventually we can unpause all the builds and the trucks will get to work. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, I have a limited build space. if we remember over here, we're digging down to this number 10. Can I grab the end tool? And we're just going to drag that out to there. And we're going to drag that out to there because that is eventually where I have to build to. Problem is, well, this is where I have to build to for right now because this is where the ground starts curving. So I don't have a lot of build space. I really, really don't have a lot of build space. So we need to work with what we've got whilst we've got it. Actually, can I cut those? And we're going to put you... I'm going to move you off over an awful lot, I think. No, we're going to put you here. I'm going to have a... there. I'm probably going to have a problem in the future. That's one tile too high. Probably going to have a problem in the future when we end up putting in a second copper smelter. Although bricks are in the way, so we might never put in a second copper smelter. We don't need a lot of copper compared to iron. All right, we're going to grab off this side. I'm going to go up a level. I'm also going to press the F button. The F button, whoops. Come on, belts, you can do it. Out of there. Cool. And then up a level. I need you to stay connected. All right, fine. From there, up a level. There you go. All right. If we turn on the F mode is the I don't frigging care if I'm blocking another belt connector. It's an important command to know. We're going to run our belt this way. Yeah, although I suddenly realize I maybe do care if we're blocking off that connector. So we're just going to move it over a little bit. All right, we're going to plug the copper in on the top level because I'm going to need another storage, which we'll be putting actually right here, which will connect right into that existing connector. And we're going to set you to be rubber. Yes, we're going to have a keep full on you. And this is going to be our very first production line. We're also going to move you. You're going to be the output. And we're going to put you, good question here. 1, 2 machines plus 2 tiles. Yeah, hopefully that's enough room. All right, remove those. Okay, we're going to have our belts go out of you, into you, out of you, into you, out of you, into you, and out of you, into you. All right, and we're going to make sure that you are set for electronics. And this is going to be our very, very first production line. So I'm going to unpause the storage. I'm going to obviously unpause the first belts for the first 2 machines, also the first 2 machines themselves, and the output belt and the storage. But let's just make electronics. So we've automated one of the many things that we need, but that is our first step. All right, our second step is we need to make our next item, which is going to be not electronics, it's going to be mechanical parts, which is really, really easy because it just requires iron. So I'm going to have to bring iron into here and then run into a whole lot of mechanical parts. So mechanical parts are going to need another storage box. Another storage box, thank you. Okay, delete mechanical parts, and we can see that this belt's going to go there. So I'm going to move all of these down just the smallest amount so the belt's straight. Okay, we're going to plug you into you, plus you into you, plus you into you, plus you into you. Okay, we're going to bring in the iron. The iron's going to obviously come in here, and we're going to go 1, 2, 3. I have F mode on, so we don't freaking care, and I mean freaking care. I might want to use a different term, but here on YouTube, they frown upon it if I use other 4-letter words that start with F. So we're going to go with frigging care, or all depends on which particular science fiction show you prefer to watch. We're going to go with F. Yes, F, to make sure we don't care if we block the connectors. I need you to make mechanical parts. Problem is, I need to feed iron into you. Now, iron, I have put in a smelter here, but it's currently a ghost one and it's not built. And I don't want to build it yet because I need to sort of decide where we're going to be doing a whole bunch of things. I need to have another storage. I have another production line. Let's just go with another production line outright. We need construction parts, okay? So let's work out construction parts. Construction parts are going to require a flat belt to carry the iron. Plus, I'm going to need to carry wood, and I'm also going to need to carry bricks. So we're going to go with a second belt on top, and a third belt on top of that at height number 2. Okay, and then we're going to grab our belts. We're going to go with from the maximum height, because that's going to set our distances, and we need to come out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tiles. 5 tiles to there, and click. Okay. Second belt is also going to come out 5 tiles, and the bottom belt is going to obviously come out 5 tiles. All right. we're going to attach you there. You are going to be doing our construction parts 1. And if I chop off everything on that side and everything on that side, we now have a little blueprint that I can copy. Cut. Yep. And I'm going to place you here. I don't want to waste a lot of space between one build and another because space is a premium right now. And I don't have a lot to spare. Now, if I put in 4 of these, it means I need to get bricks in here. I also need to get wood in here. Also need to get iron in here. Iron we know is going to be over there. Bricks are going to be, well, here. I just need to get a belt from A to B. I also need to get wood, which we're probably going to end up bringing in locally. Now, I have a couple of issues, one being space. I have 1 set of tiles, potentially 2 sets of tiles. If we, like, filling that is going to be a nightmare. We're not filling that. But I have potentially just the squeeziest, tiniest bit of space, possibly, to, you know, get trucks past. So I want to keep this area clear so trucks can drive past rather than having to drive all the way around our production. So we're going to have construction parts 1 here, which means I'm going to need a storage. Which tile we decide on? We decide on that tile. And we're going to set you for construction parts 1. All right, which means I need an output. I need an output, an output, and I need an output. Cool. That's construction parts 1 done, which of course need iron. On top of that, the very next production we're going to be building is actually going to be in this orientation, and it is going to be construction parts 2, which require electronics, and we've got to remember electronics are over here. So I need to get electronics from there over to here along with construction parts 1. One problem at a time, JD. All right, with that done, how many construction parts do we have? We have some and some. Okay, can we get that built? Not that belt, that belt, that belt, that belt, and that storage. Can I also get, all right, can I also get a belt for bricks, which we're going to bring out to left, up to height 2, and then we're going to dodge around these buildings and into here, because I know that's where bricks are going to go. I know that one for a fact. Okay, and we'll get that unpaused as well so we can get that one built. All right. Construction parts 2. Construction parts 2 are going to require 2 belts as well. Actually, we have a build that does 2 belts. That is this belt. So we're just going to copy that in its entirety and paste you right here. We can press the V button to copy a recipe from building to building. So you're now set for construction parts 2. And I want to have, well, for every, let's put you there. For every building that does construction parts 1, which makes 6 construction parts, I can use 6 of those to make construction parts 2. So if I have 4 buildings doing 1s, I can have potentially 4 buildings doing 2s. The problem is that's going to consume an awful lot of construction parts. In fact, it's going to consume all my parts 1 to make parts 2, and I need to have spare parts 2. What is your problem? What can't you dump? Is our ramp? Oh, our ramp is finished. We made it to the next level. Yay! All right, let's remove all that. Let's set up a new dumping designation, which is going to be the shoreline. Okay, the shoreline, I'm going to start with a flattening here. So I have a flat level to work from. We're going to set you to ramp down. And I could come all the way down to +1. +1 is a perfectly acceptable height to flatten land to because the water is at height 0.5. Problem is, if I want to build a dock has to be on height 2. Or between height 2 and 5. So we're going to start with height 2 right here, and this is going to be our new dumping designation. Probably not for docks, honestly. Well, probably we'll have docks eventually, but for right now, I want to level this off because eventually I need to build oil, and it's going to be easy to build oil out here than it is to build it inland. We'll just end up piping the oil from there out to our oil refineries out here, but I need the guys to start dumping out some land so we have somewhere flat to build. All right, back to our problem over here. All right, so I need to make construction parts 2. I also need to route my construction parts 1 into my construction parts 2, and also possibly, well, I also need to get electronics over here. So we've got a couple of items we need to get into this particular build. So I'm going to cut this. I'm actually going to flip it so all the belts are facing the other way. It means the output belt's definitely going to be in the wrong direction, but it's easier to switch the direction on one belt than it is to switch the direction on 2 belts. And I'm going to put you... let's go with 4? Let's go with 4. Let's go with 4. Okay. Now, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that I can get construction part 1 into construction part 2, but I only want to take 50% of them. I don't want to take all of them. So I'm going to remove that and that. I'm going to run that belt into there and that belt in there. What a connector does is it joins things together or splits them apart. I'm going to put a single belt in there, and I'm going to hope that it's going in the direction of, well, the bottom of the screen to the top of the screen, because that'll take 50% of all the construction parts I make and shove them into here. On top of that, I'm going to take a loop back belt out the front and plug it in here as well, which means every single construction part I make can go into this build as well. But the difference is I'm going to pause the belt. I don't actually want the belt to run. Okay, I really don't want the belt to run. I want it there as an option, so if I suddenly need to boost production, I can. With that done, we need to get electronics. We'll work out electronics in a second, but it also means I now sort of know where iron's going to go. And the answer is it's going to go right. Let's leave some room for belt routing. Let's leave a lot of room for belt routing. Let's put you there. Okay. With that there, I need to grab iron. We're going to put iron directly into this connector. Done. Which means that little belt under there I don't need. We're also going to get another bucket for coal. Delete, please. Can I get coal? And you're going to run out of there into the second level belt. And at the end, I want to put slag, but I don't actually want to put slag just straight away. I want to take all these belts and double them, like so. And then, you know what? Screw it. Remove all that. I want to take the whole build and double it. Cool. Reconnect that belt in that I removed earlier. Thank you. And obviously cut that because you're confused and can't get out. Good little trucky. Okay, and then I want to put my slag belt, my slag bucket over here somewhere. So we're going to come out of this connector and down to ground level. Okay, go away, bucket. Out of there. Down to ground level. That's ground level. Yep, right there. Take a bucket, put the bucket on the belt, remove that, set you to be slag, and set you to keep empty. Thank you. And with that done, I want to get this smelter built. So we're going to unpause all of that. That's the first build. All of that as well. I need to have the slag belt connect all the way through, so I want to unpause all of that, and the slag bucket. Right, we need them to build this. Now, are they going to complain about not being able to bring things in? So we'll tell them, definitely this one in the middle. You can't import things. And then we should be good to grab our belts. And we're going to grab a belt out of the front. Let's line things up. Yep, out of the front here. No, that tile. And run you in a dead straight line and plug you into there. Because that is the iron to make mechanical parts. On top of that, I want to grab a second belt, which we're going to run one tile further out, and we're going to run into this one to bring in our iron to make construction parts. Still need to bring in wood. Wood is going to come from this little belt to a storage here, and which means I need a storage bucket, which is going to be right here. I'm going to set you to be wood. Drag this up so it actually actively imports wood from anywhere else on the map, and we should be good to go. So I'm going to unpause you, mainly because I have one for wood currently, and as soon as the new one's built, I can remove the old one. Also, we are currently moving mechanical parts and electronics into maintenance. I want to move that because now we have mechanical parts and electronics over here, and I want to run, well, a belt that way, plus a belt. Come on. Come on, connect. I'll turn R mode off. Does that help? Not really. There is a bug. The developers know about the bug. I reported the bug as the game launched. And it does not like me today. Come on, belt. Do as you're told. Do I have another one? I've got to have another one. I've got another one. There we go. If in doubt, copy and paste. Put you there. All right, we're going to have you go over the top for mechanical parts. We're going to have you go underneath for mechanical parts. we're going to have one go into there and one go into there. Okay, I want to unpause that, that, and that. I want to get this built. As soon as I get this built, I can now have maintenance over here, which means I can remove this maintenance depot. In fact, actually, no, I can't uni build it because I don't have construction parts. Of course I don't. We've spent them all. All right, we also need to get both these two belts done. And are you running? Okay. You have copper. You're going to need to request coal. You're going to dump slag. And it looks like our first smelter block's up and running. Cool. What do we have over here that we can get rid of? First off, we're going to set you to that end. So the iron goes here instead. We're going to also make sure that you're built. Great. So I'm going to demolish that one. Don't need it anymore. As soon as you're built, quick deliver, I can demolish that one. Don't need it anymore. I don't need this one for coal anymore, so I can demolish that as well. Every single time I demolish something, I'm going to get some sort of refund. On top of that, more importantly, probably, is I'm going to get construction parts back. Okay, I never gave you an output. Can I have an output to here for construction parts 2? And you will go, oh, you will not go that way, not go that way. You will rotate, 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 more rotating of the rotations, and then plug into there. And you will plug into there. Okay, so we have bricks, we have trees. We're going to unpause you, unpause that, unpause your exit belts. And your box, and we need to have at least 2 machines running because that's what we had previously. All right, you're now doing maintenance, great, which means you were doing mechanical parts plus electronics, bit of everything. We're going to get rid of you. You were doing a bit of everything as well. We're going to get rid of you. You were doing electronics. We're going to get rid of you. So that just leaves the guys doing construction parts. But I believe we have an issue that you are not allowed to take bricks out. Oh, no, well, you can export bricks. Okay, no, we should be fine. Although you're now running without iron. Oh, one little belt. There's always one little belt. Okay, you're now running, you're now automated, which means we're going to come back over this, and I don't need this anymore. I don't need, well, you're out of iron ore. So I don't need any of that anymore. Storage is not quite empty of iron, but we're going to set you to empty. We're going to set you to empty as well. We're going to set you to go away. We're going to set you to go away. And that should mean that I have everything over here, except I don't actually have anybody doing construction parts too. That's probably an issue. Cancel! Yeah. Well, we'll leave that one for a second longer. All right, construction parts 2. So they're going to have construction parts 1. If I unpause that belt, plus that belt, plus that one, that one, that one, that one, that one, and that one. As for electronics we have over here. So I need to get electronics out of this building and across the map, and of course I blocked the output. What's the best way to do this? All right, the best way, well, not the best way, but the way I'm going to choose to do it, which is probably the wrong way of doing it, but that's okay, because we're going to be removing all this in the future, is I'm going to grab off here. Now, this is a 50-50 split at this point. It's not going to take from the storage, but it'll work for me for right now. We're going to run this belt over that belt and into here. That'll get us up and running. Can we unpause you, you, all of you, that, and that. Okay, if that belt gets done, which it should get done very, very quickly, we should get electronics coming in here, which means I should be able to start making construction parts 2 and storing them. This belt, like I said, I want to pause it. I want to have a 50-50 split. I want to be able to store construction parts 1 and just have the 50%, or technically, if this whole belt backs up, it'd be 100% split down here. The belt is facing that direction, which is perfect. So it is going to get a 50-50 split to start with. But like I said, if I manage to get the whole belt to back up, rotate direction, there we go. If I manage to get this belt to back up, which it's about to do, then it ends up with 100% of all the construction parts. But by having this extra belt here means I can turn it on and off should I need to suddenly boost construction part 2 manufacturing capabilities. Yes. Okay. As for our research, it's been ticking along nicely. As for this, I don't need any of this anymore. So we're just going to remove everything. The trucks will work out where they can put the materials. They'll work that out shortly. And I don't need to upgrade this just yet. We just need more iron. More iron is limited by, well, pretty much more mining. One thing I will need is another assembler, just a random assembler. I'm going to put you at the front, and I need to turn on the things that we don't make. So I don't make vehicle parts anywhere. They're not automated on a bus. An automated construction line. So I do want to have you being built, and you're just going to make vehicle parts as a one-off build. I am going to always need more construction parts. So we are going to now we have some automation up and running. I'm going to unpause all that. I'm also going to unpause all that. It's going to cost me more workers. Doesn't cost me maintenance, which is fine by me. Can I unpause you? Because maintenance is another limiting factor. It's a limiting factor I need to avoid. Toggle direction, and toggle direction. Cool. That will actually help with the automation part of the automation. Yeah, I don't want to deal with. I don't want to push my maintenance too high. Now, as long as I'm still sticking with manual assemblers, so these ones, they don't require maintenance. If I upgrade to an electric, that's when they do require maintenance. As for our research, we've got a whole bunch of research done this episode, and I think the only things I want to cover is... You're now over here digging rock. Okay. Except we have no dirt. Dirt? I need you to do dirt. Your job is dirt. It is dirt. But you've decided to go dig rock anyway. Okay, be difficult. Alright, I think the only research I want to cover is going to be probably water. So we did research groundwater pump. So groundwater pump I can put somewhere where we have groundwater, and I can grab water out of the ground. Very, very handy. Will cost me some power, will cost me some maintenance, will cost me a bunch of different things. But it's going to be very handy that I can run my pump. Yeah, we're going to go straight height number 3. We're not going to waste any time. We're going to go in a straight line right across this whole build. To here, and all the way over to here. Okay. We also got access to transports. We got access to pipe balances. I want to put a pipe balance in right here. So I'm going to remove those two and put in a pipe balancer. And then I'm going to take my pipe that we just ran and plug it in there. Okay. Can I unpause that? And yeah, for 0.3 uni, we're going to say go. And what I can do is I can prioritize in from our rainwater collectors. If our rainwater collectors are not collecting any rainwater due to the lack of rain, we can revert back to the groundwater pump. On top of that, the other thing that we got access to is sediment water. Now, sediment water and the groundwater pump are a great combination because I can get more unity out of the people by giving them, well, running water. So I want to put you... Oh, can I put you there? Can I get an output pipe from that? No, I can't get you there quite yet because somebody needs to dig out one tile. Okay. Can I put you there? Can I get a pipe into you? Can I go over the farm? I can go over that, and I can go over that. Okay, cool. Alright, we're going to run our very first very, very long pipe. I need to grab off this at height 3, so it's probably going to be out of the way, and come to here. And then I need to go to ground level for at least a couple of tiles, and then go back up to height 3, and we're just going to leave you for right there for right now. So I need buildings, vehicles, I need a ramp. The trucks can pass under the... Oh. That's all hilly. Okay, new plan. We're going to put the bridge over there. We're going to grab the water from here. We're going to run over to here. We're going to run through the back. Then we're going to run it under. Now, I did mention before, trucks can run under something that is 3 tiles high, or 2 tiles high. So a belt or a pipe that's 2 tiles or higher, the trucks can drive under. The excavators less so. So they need one of those vehicle bridges to climb, well, to drive over the belts. So this is why we've put one in to make sure all the diggy boys can access one side or the other. Can you just please just live there for 5 seconds. Okay, I need to get you in there, and that would block off my diggy boy. Do I need to give you a dedicated belt bridge? Sort of do. Okay, you're going to need a bridge there. So I need to bring this down to ground level, under the bridge, and then up and over this, to there, and then finally into the housing. Cool. That is not going to be a long, expensive pipe at all. Unpause the other half of it. That's 29 parts. That's 44 parts. Cool. There's another 100-part pipe. All right. This, of course, is going to have nasty wastewater, which we're going to do what we do with everything that we don't like and we need to just dispose of. Under waste management, there's a liquid dump, which we're going to put right, well, here, preferably in a dead straight line. Yeah, we're going to pump it out and dump it right in front of the ship. That way, whenever we are introducing other people from other colonies and we bring them home on their ship, we know exactly where to pull up, and that is right in front of the very, very smelly pipe. Yeah, we're going to build the bridge. We're also going to build that. We're just going to put a bridge here because that means the excavators and the little trucks can just drive over, and we're now at -2 workers. Perfect! I built too much. But with you up and running, we're going to get an extra +1 uni by giving the people water, and they're going to be happy people. And I'm going to be happy because we have rudimentary working automation. We're now making construction parts too, put into a box. Obviously, I'm not making enough. I can see that. In fact, we're going to pause one of those because I don't probably need it running. We're definitely not making enough. We spoke about transport balancing. Smart conveyor routing, it just lets us put in a filter on a belt so we can pull different materials off. Liquid dump has no recipe. Oh yeah, I need to give you a recipe. There you go. You dump the nasty water right in front of the ship. Yep. Just, Captain, when leaving, make sure you go sideways. Do not pull forward. Never pull forward. Ooh, that's going to be bad. All right, irrigated farms we will get in the future. We haven't got them yet. We're just running on 2 basic farms because, well, potatoes. This year, production 58, consumption 46. That works for me. We have spare potatoes. All right, retaining walls we'll get into later. They'll let us hold back the dirt, so we don't end up with this angle like this where all the dirt falls in, sand, iron, whatever it happens to be. Retaining walls is much later in the game. Tree planting, concrete production, and the ship dock repair. Well, actually, now we have automation. You want 100 construction parts. I can't afford it now, but if I click the button, it'll happen between now and the next episode. So this is where I'm going to leave this episode. We have automated production. As you can see, we have iron to spare now. We have construction parts. The only thing I need is more wood, I need more bricks, which is limited by our dirt production, which is probably why we need to get into concrete. We need to get in concrete so I can get dirt more reliably. Also, maybe more vehicles wouldn't hurt, but to get more vehicles, I need to up our maintenance. We're spending 80 odd maintenance now out of a possible 105. So I need more maintenance buildings. So if I get more maintenance buildings, I need more people. Also, I need more power. So this is where we're going to start scaling up dramatically into bigger and better things. But the bigger and better things are going to wait for the next episode because we're definitely out of time. So, as always, thank you guys so much for watching. Do hope you've enjoyed. And that like that I asked whether I could borrow, I now keep it. I think I earned it. I think we accomplished enough. We got a lot done, and we definitely have more to do because we are still very, very much in the early game, but we are researching the Research Lab 2, which means in the next episode, we can look at playing with the Research Lab 2 and getting more and more research up and running. No, we still have a lot of trees to cut down before we even worry about planting a single brand new enemy on the map because, well, Trees are the real enemy. Let's be honest, they've held up production for long enough, being in the way. Anyway, that's it. We're out. Thanks for watching. See you next one. Bye.